Today is a sad day, another day that will live in infamy. We mourn the loss of Charlie Kirk, a great man, a young man who did a lot to influence the youth in this country to become conservative, to fight for conservative principles, and to win. I didn't always agree with Charlie. He was an isolationist. I'm not. But he was a great man, and he had a tremendous impact. It's ironic because today I'm in Dallas, Texas. Many years ago, after I founded and ran Judicial Watch and was fighting the Clintons, I and some of the staff at Judicial Watch were run off the road in Dallas, Texas. I believe that Hillary Clinton and or those in and around the Clinton administration were behind it. They wanted me dead. I had two security guards, two DC homicide detectives, to protect me and to protect my family. However, today, if I was doing the same thing I was doing at Judicial Watch with the Clintons, and I am in many respects, I'd be an even bigger target, and a target that would have to take into account, to even greater extent, the tragedy that occurred to Charlie Kirk. But he's not the only one. The Democrats, I believe, in the Biden administration, let it happen. They tried to kill President Trump either directly or they created the condition for it to happen with inadequate security. There have been others who've been subject to assassination attempts. Congressional Republicans several years ago, other individuals on the right in particular. The right does not really act against the left in a violent way, but the left is vicious. They're Bolsheviks. They're terrorists in many ways. And we need to take that into account. Now is the time to arm up, to exercise our Second Amendment rights, not to act offensively, but defensively. Frequently, I post a trailer of the video Wyatt Earp, where little Wyatt's going through the cornfields, and his dad stops him and says, "Where are you going?" His dad was played by Gene Hackman. He says, "I'm going to join my brothers, Virgil and Morgan, in the war." And Gene Hackman, playing Wyatt's dad, says, "No, you're not going anywhere." But I'm going to tell you something. In your life, you're going to meet a lot of vicious people. And when you do, don't let them kill you. You strike first, and you strike to kill. If you feel in fear of immediate bodily injury or death, you have the right to strike first, and you have the right to strike to kill. And that's, in fact, a situation I hope that you'll never have to confront. And I hope that no people in and around me will have to confront it either. But the fact is, we are at a war right now. The left wants us dead. They want to take this country down to ground zero. It's not just dead. They want to kill our body politic. They want to kill our Judeo-Christian ethics. They want us to go into a state that totally separates us from the Father and the Son. And we cannot allow that to happen. Now let's talk about President Trump. Of course, they tried to kill him too. The fact is, he's now trying to bring law and order to major cities around the country, controlled by vile, leftist Democrat mayors and other politicians. In Los Angeles, in Chicago, in Portland, in Seattle, in Atlanta, you name it. These major cities are in control. They're crime zones. People are being killed even with stray bullets in the streets. The president sent in the National Guard in Los Angeles. Supreme Court recently upheld that was legal. He sent them into Washington, D.C. He had even stronger legal grounds there. If there's a silver lining to the death of Charlie Kirk, and there really is not, but it's going to cause President Trump, and it should cause us, to react, not violently, but peacefully and legally. This is going to justify him sending the National Guard into Chicago and every other major American city. We just recently had the death of this young Ukrainian on a train, where a deranged individual left by saying that he was happy to have killed a black woman, a white woman rather. Isn't it ironic that if a black woman had been killed rather than a white woman, the whole country would be burning and up in flames right now, given the way the left has created this race war, unfortunately, started by Barack Obama and his lovely wife, Michelle, and others in and around the Obama administration. It's only gotten worse under Biden, It reached an even heightened level. We are at risk, and we must defend ourselves. And now is the time for President Trump to let it loose. If he needs to declare martial law in some of these cities, frankly, until the situation subsides. That will give him the authority to send in the National Guard in those states where he's likely to be blocked by corrupt judges. And the judges are a problem, more than a problem. I've been talking about them for decades. I wrote several books. It takes a revolution. Forget the scandal industry. It takes a counter-revolution. Wake up America. These federal judges in particular, Jefferson predicted it, will become despots and tyrants. And you can gauge with almost exact certainty how they'll rule based upon which president and which political ideology put them in power. We have bar associations that are the same way in the District of Columbia and New York that want to eliminate conservative and Republican activist lawyers. They're not only out to kill us in terms of physically, they're out to kill us in terms of our being able to defend ourselves in court or to bring cases in that regard. Now, Freedom Watch is the partner of President Trump in effect. We ask that you go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause with tax-deductible contributions. We are your Justice Department. We are partners with Pam Bondi, the Attorney General in effect. We can do things the government can't do. We have citizens' grand juries, citizens' trials. We can hold the guilty accountable under the laws of nature and nature's God, as referenced in our Declaration of Independence. We're not limited to man-made law. We're only limited by the law of the Father and the Son. And that is a good God. And that is a peaceful God. And may Charlie Kirk, to get back to this, rest in peace. He was a great man, a young man. He's now a martyr in the truest sense, Christian sense of the word. But we cannot forget this, that we are still alive on this earth, and we must do what we can for our families, our children and grandchildren, and people that we love. We cannot let the left succeed. We must relegate them to the proverbial ash heap of history. They must be legally and peacefully eradicated. They must be removed. It's either them or us. We cannot sit there listening to chamber music and watch the ship of state, like the Titanic, sink. So therefore, we must all rise up now. Let this be a clarion call. The death of Charlie Kirk, as sad as it is, will spur us on to even greater resistance and even greater activity to eliminate the left from our body politic. They are vile. They are hateful. They are criminals. As far as I'm concerned, there's not one good leftist out there. We cannot allow them to succeed. There's some that are peaceful. There's some that want to get along with us, but there are many that want to kill us, and we can see that today. So let this be a lesson. Let us rise up peacefully and legally under the name of the Father and Son. God will only help us if we help ourselves. The death of Charlie Kirk is a turning point, pun intended. It is a turning point to remove the left totally from the body politic of this country. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. And God save America. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. This is a very sad day, but let's turn it into a day of action. Action to eliminate the left from our body politic peacefully and legally. Thank you for listening to me.